Hey, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to be going over and creating a basic HTML template that you can use for any website. So we're going to start by indicating the doc type. So I've created a blank HTML index.html page, just a regular blank HTML page, and then we're going to render this out in the browser. So we start out by indicating the doc type. So you can see that if you go to the source code of any website, right at the top, it indicates the doc type. So this is a requirement, and what this does, and the sole purpose, is to prevent the browser from switching to a different mode so that it understands what type of content and what type of document it's rendering out, so it doesn't have to guess depending on the content. And if you don't include it, then the browser will guess, try to determine what type of content you're trying to render out. So going back into our HTML page, index.html, let's set the doc type. And some cases you're going to see this is uppercase or lowercase. It doesn't actually matter. This is going to be not case sensitive, so you can write it either way. But commonly the way that I usually will do it is I'll do uppercase for the doc type, and then HTML will be lowercase. So that will specify that this is doc type HTML. And you can see that in pretty much any website should have that. And I know the CERN website did not have that in the top. And this was a more recent addition because remember, this website was created way back. So going into the doc type HTML, so we're specifying that this is going to be an HTML document. And there's actually 4 required types of tags for HTML. And that's going to be the main parent, HTML opening and closing. And this is brackets that's automatically closing my HTML tags. A good thing to turn on, and if you do have it within your editor, always going to be closing off the tags. And that's one of the things that you always have to remember when you open a tag, and then you need to close it off so that the properties get applied to the content that's contained within there. So if you don't close it off, then if you start another tag, then it's going to get messed up. So always make sure that you're opening and closing the tags. And any of the content that's contained within here is going to, any of the nested tags are going to get this structure as well. Within an HTML document, the first tag is indicating where the HTML starts, and the next tag is indicating where the HTML ends. So going into the source code, we have our HTML, and they have a lot of tags here, and then the closing tag is as well HTML. So that structure is in place in all the websites that are properly structured with HTML. And then the next element that is required is the head tag. So within the head, this is where you would place all of the content. It's the main container for information that is in regards to the HTML document. So let's create the head. And any of that meta information and information that the browser needs. So this isn't information that is seen by the user visiting the website. This is where all of the links to the meta properties, and we'll talk about that as well, and linking to other external files, images for icons, and so on. So this is all contained within the head. And then next is the body tag. And the body tag is where all of the contents are going to go. So this is where all of the main content is going to be for your user to be able to see it. So now that we've created this website, let's refresh. And we see that all we see is main content. And that's right, because the rest of them are HTML tags. We also do need to have one more tag to make the 4 must-have tags for an HTML document, and that's going to be the title tag. So what the title does is it allows you to see this information up here within the tab, and as well it's very useful for SEO purposes, for search engine optimization, and as well in order to reference what this page is about. So you should always, each page should have a title, and as well it should be unique for SEO purposes. So basically a summary or a quick few word summary about what this page is going to be all about. So creating the title, and the title as well sits in it's nested within the head tags, because this isn't meant to be displayed within the content area. It's simply being displayed in most browsers within the top tabs. HTML course. So when I refresh it, pay attention to the tab browser, and since there was no title, it was just giving the file name, so it was doing index.html, and when I refresh it, we have HTML course, and then of course we have the main content. And that's it. This is going to be the 4 tags that you need to include in every HTML document. And of course, without them, it's still going to render out the main content, but it won't have the proper context that this is an HTML document. So you won't have the proper structure. So you should be including these within all of your HTML documents, and it should be all the same. So you could use this as a template to copy and paste it and create additional HTML pages by using this template and then updating the content and of course the title tag. So the HTML is the root element. So all the other elements are contained within it. So they're all nested within the HTML. And it delimits the beginning of where the HTML code is going to go. The head is going to be the container for information about the HTML document, such as title and other meta information. And then the body is the displayable content of the HTML document. And this way, whenever you look at an HTML document, you have some context and some idea of the structure that this is going to be presented to the user. So now it's your turn. Go ahead and create your HTML template document, and you're going to be using this and reusing it over and over again throughout the lessons of this course and throughout the upcoming lessons. So create that, and you're going to be ready to move on to the next lesson.